G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a two-shot combat rifle. That's right, Overseer's Guardian has come back into Fallout 4 in the form of a random legendary drop. So yeah, there we go. So we've already seen a combat rifle before. This time we'll be using it as an semi-auto platform for starters. I want to move on to auto a little bit later, but to get more of a coverage of the performance of this weapon, why not use it as semi-auto first up? So as a hardened receiver, obviously it is going to be improved by the rifleman perks. So let's go ahead and chuck some of those on. Forget about ground pounder. We're going to chuck on tank killer instead, which will give us a little bit of armor penetration and a little bit of chance to stagger and to boost our damage ever so slightly more. We're not going to be using this thing in bats as much, so I'm going to go ahead and chuck on bloody mess, and maybe instead of critical savvy I'll chuck on luck of the draw just to get a little bit of weapon condition back. We've also got tenderizer here. Normally I'd like to go and chuck on lone wanderer, but we've got a suppressor. We will be out of the line of fire, so I think we can get away without it. So here she is, doing 110 damage overall, so not too bad of a start. Let's move on to some gameplay. Alrighty, so it's a little bit foggy outside, which is going to be a pain to use with our chameleon perks, because when you crouch and sit still for a bit, yeah, that's what happens. So I'm just going to have to get a little bit closer than expected. Luckily, the super mutants have quite big silhouettes, so we shouldn't have too much trouble targeting these guys most of the time. And if we're unsure, we could always use bats just to scope out our targets, but I don't think we'll be getting much use out of bats in itself. Although super mutants are rather large targets, like I said before, so we might actually get away with using this thing in bats sometimes, although we're certainly not spec to actually use this thing in bats properly. So far so good, just stacking heaps of sneak attack criticals. We're stealth riflemaning with this, so not as effective and as killing as fast as a stealth commando thing, but we're definitely making better use of our bullets. Only firing one at a time allows us to more contain our bursts or bullet supplies, and it also gives us more damage per bullet, sort of like that, at the expense of a little bit of DPS. And there we go, there's this lot cleared out. We'll move on to the back. When you do use a rifleman type weapon, you'll notice that your game is significantly slowed down due to just the DPS shortage that you get as compared to an automatic weapon, which kind of sucks. You'll notice the reload is also pretty slow too, because I don't have ground pounder activated on this because it is not automatic. There we go. Managed to get a couple of shots in with that VATS run there. So far so good. I guess the last one is up here somewhere. We've been detected at this point. Back into caution thanks to escape artist. Back into danger once more. Back into caution, please. There we go. And then we 3-shot this guy. So super efficient on bullets, and also condition of the weapon too. So yeah, not doing too bad so far, Overseer's Guardian. Alrighty, we'll see how fast we can clear out this place with a rifleman type weapon. I'd imagine it'll be faster than we had with the instigating hunting rifle. We just won't be one-shotting everyone. Alright, so we're in danger now. That is a Zealot's Cultist Dagger. I think I can do without that. We're in danger for a second, but then we're just sort of not, so there you go. We can shoot that guy through the floor below us, so why the hell not? And I think there might be more super mutants down here. Not really sure. I'm going to try to maintain my sneak just so I can get the most damage per bullet possible, because this thing is a little bit slower than other commando weapons, because you can't just use crit spamming to get out of trouble like you could with auto weapons. You need to actually, you know, double down on stealth to make this thing actually work. Which is not too much of a problem, provided you're not lagging like I am, but even in this horrible lag, I'm still doing quite well. I don't know what the hell's wrong with the servers tonight. They've just been shit. But even though we are having dodgy server troubles, this thing seems to be performing quite well. And at adrenaline, probably rank 60 by now, we're getting ourselves 177 damage, and then we just faded immediately out of danger there. Which, if I recall, that's actually more damage than we got with the instigating hunting rifle base, and although we are not getting that extra bit of damage from the instigating effect, I'm pretty sure I one-shotted that bloke before. Try to get him in the head. He's lagging around a bit. Yep, we can totally one-shot these guys. So, yep, not bad for a 45 ACP, although you could probably do a lot better, again, with the lever action rifle. But again, you don't have the mag capacity in that, or the reload time, although With the speed that I am engaging these people, the 1x1 bullet reload probably won't be a problem anyway. But regardless, combat rifle's still doing pretty good. These are top tier enemies, they aren't a joke, so it is nice to see a 2-shot combat rifle do pretty well against these blokes. Alrighty, I think we've cleared out this thing. We'll head to the other one now. Alrighty, here we go. In caution already, we'll just pop that dude's head off. I do like the ones that wear the propane tanks. I find that super easy to hit for some reason. It's just a nice bright target for you to shoot at. It's also kind of nice design that they're just perforated the tanks and then wearing them as helmets. Even though, like, it's not like really thick metal there. It won't do much to protect them, I don't think. But I guess if you hit them on an angle, maybe it'd ricochet off, but yeah, let's not get into the armor problems of super mutants. It's not really working for them, is it? Regardless of whatever armor they can scrounge, they are no match for my stealthy rifleman abilities. That's one of those cowardly legendaries. We'll quickly check out what he's got in a second. And now we're in danger. We might as well just use this in bats a little bit. And even without using sneak attack criticals there, we still got some pretty good damage on that guy. So we'll quickly mop up the last ones here and we'll move on. Oh, it's a legendary 3-star. We're actually able to outpace his health regen with that too. Oh, they're really pouring through the doors now. I'm pretty sure I would have killed that guy in normal circumstances. Like I said before, I've server hopped multiple times due to this place being occupied by other players, but one thing has stayed the same between servers. It's the fucking lag tonight. I'm really unhappy. Hopefully it's not taking away from the video too much. You can't really rate a weapon's performance if you're really lagging all that much, can ya? Still in danger, still a couple more muties around. Usually they'd show up on the radar at this point. There he is. Just gotta chase him up now. Go around the corner, back into caution please. Still in the old caution. Oh yeah, this guy. I usually miss this guy. Oh come on, what could be left at this point? The answer is this guy. And still more super mutants around. There he is. I feel like there's more super mutants in here before. Maybe I wasn't as thorough as I thought when originally clearing out this place. But I think that's all of them now. So yeah, not bad by a hardened 2-shot combat rifle in here, is it? Yeah, not too bad. This weapon can actually hold its own. Okay, we'll move on to an auto receiver because I want to test it out with that, and we'll move on to the ghouls. Fortunately, the actual modifications on this is actually pretty, Fortunately, switching this to a powerful auto receiver is only really bad on the nuclear material part. Everything else is kind of good, so there we go. Now she's automatic. Let's tune up our build a little bit. So instead of having all these rifleman perks, we'll chuck on the commandos, obviously the ground pounder, and the master commando. We'll keep everything the same. That's pretty good. Okay, good to go. Okie dokie, some server hops and some failed run attempts due to other players later. Let's just kill the ghouls and hopefully we can be done with it. So again, we're running our automatic one, which should be pretty good against the ghouls. We've already seen how an automatic executioner's combat rifle goes. I think it was executioner's, so this thing should be dealing the damage. Now granted, this thing would have been a lot more powerful. Are they ravers? Are you kidding me? Don't give me that shit, game. Give me actual ghouls. Oh good, another failed run attempt at this, eh? No, there's a Chard. Okay, we finally got a Chard boy in here. That sounded like a Chard boy. Do you remember him? He used to do Battlefield, then he went to CSGO, then he never came back to Battlefield. But as you can tell, with that extra reload damage and that extra DPS, we can pretty much kill these guys as soon as they round the corner. I'm going to sweep the area, see if there's anyone we missed. Usually there's a couple T-posing in the corner. We've got a fat ass here, so let's go ahead and one-shot him. No, not quite. We got detected. That's okay. We'll just hose him down with our 75 rate of fire. Yeah, I wanted to get a more a quicker rate of fire receiver for this, but looks like that's not going to be the case. Doesn't really matter, this thing still gives out a lot of damage despite having a slowish rate of fire. We'd be one-shotting these guys if they were gangrenous anyways, so you know, that's fine. And we can almost one-shot those charred dudes, which is pretty good. If I manage to score a headshot, I'd imagine they'd be dead pretty quickly as well. There's some more dudes. See, we're taking the fight to them today. We're not letting them crowd outside the door before we do stuff. So, yeah. And with suppressed guns, you can sort of do that because you can clear it from room to room because you're not going to wake up every single ghoul just by shooting at stuff. Although we're still in danger at the moment. Something else with aggro, but these are very good. I'll eat some of these. These will give me lots and lots of good lead. Alrighty, so getting in nice and close to Swan is probably the best way we can do this, because there's still a little bit of recoil with this thing, despite having stabilized barrel and stock. This thing still kicks a little bit. No problems taking out Swan as a stealth commando 2-shot Overseer's Guardian thingy. Not too bad. Haven't really checked out what this thing can do when hyped up on adrenaline, so let's find out what we can do. Now, despite the automatic receiver being an automatic receiver, that doesn't always mean you have to fire it holding the trigger down full auto. In fact, it's actually a really good method for getting faster than usual than what you'd get with your semi-auto receivers. We'll just tap firing like that. Although sometimes if you go too fast, you'll get the... Hang on, I'll do it while standing up. You'll get the whole recoil animation, but a bullet won't fire, which is really odd. I don't like that. So there's another crabby dude there. Check the adrenaline after this at 50%. Do we have another? Yes, we do. I hear him somewhere. Just another glowing dude. Crosshair's gone red. I'm just going to fire off in that direction. Then I'm going to throw a grenade over here, wake up the big queen. She comes up, and our damage is sitting at 162, which is not too bad at all. I was spamming the trigger so much that I forgot this was a full auto weapon, but there you go. Yep, absolutely decimated the queen. Also, we got ourselves a Tesla rifle out of that. No, I don't have to browse the inventory anymore. I got what I want, game. Okay, time to kill the Batman once again. Getting his aggro makes him come a little bit close. I don't know how much we'll get to use this thing in bats. Gonna give it a go anyway, just to see what this thing can do. Unless he's gonna land. No, he's just gonna scream at us. That's okay. We'll hold down the trigger a little bit. And... okay, once concentrated fire got going, we started missing again, which is odd. I feel like that's kind of backwards. But regardless of that, some gun zombies have shown up, so we'll take those things out. And when the Batman comes back, we'll just fire in his general direction, hold the trigger, and then we'll get him in midair like that. Easy. Super easy. So even after the 2-shot nerf, this thing can still hold up pretty well. I guess it's because it's got pretty good base damage to go along with it. It's got pretty solid base damage, and if you infuse that with lots of critical strikes, you'll have no problems in taking out your enemies. That is for sure. So there you have it. Overseer's Guardian, still pretty good back in Fallout 4, or I guess it's back chronologically, but if forward in Fallout 76, it's good. So, yeah. Not sure if I want to sell this. Let me know if you're interested. Thank you for watching, guys. Or if you want to get this, go to Market 76 or get it through a random legendary drop. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but basically that's how you get legendaries in this game. Get with it, people.